Let's make sure all our sound levels are good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to or welcome back to TBN. TBN. Yeah. This right here is the live stream where we focus down on what is really important in the vape industry, and that is news, advocacy, activism, science, policy, legislation, harm reduction, Bloomberg, tobacco smoking. We talk about a lot of stuff over here. We talk
and
about
Morris from Shang-Chi.
And Morris from Shang-Chi. And
sorry, guys, I'm obsessed. If you haven't seen Shang-Chi, go
Morris
see it.
From Shang-Chi.
He's so cute. I ordered a plushie.
Definitely go watch Shang-Chi, and definitely keep an eye out for Morris. That was that was a great little character. What a great little character.
My
there.
God.
Yeah.
My plushie just shipped out, okay? He's on his way to me.
How is it, like a life-size plushie of it?
It's like, I think they said it was like 8 or 9 inches or something.
Oh, okay. So it's like
I'm assuming
okay,
it's
that's
like
cool.
a little guy or something. I'm so excited about
Those
it. I had to
cool.
go all over the internet to find it.
That's weird, considering it's a Marvel property. I feel like you should be able to get plushie Morrisons everywhere.
Disney store was sold out. Straight up. Target
Straight up
sold
sold
out.
Dang.
Everywhere. I had to go to gamefly.com.
Popular. More popular than the Porgs even.
Seriously. I got a Porg pretty
popular.
easily.
Yeah.
But Morris.
Hard to track down. All right, well, your homework today, in addition to doing some tweeting, is to put Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings into your whatever queue, watch list. Just watch it. It's real great. It's real great. I've been, not to go off on a tangent about Marvel movies, but it's been weird having big Marvel movies come out and not see them in the theater. It feels like they're a little bit less grand, or a little bit less, like less pomp and circumstance. It's like, oh, it's a Marvel movie, but now it's just, I'm just at home
on
watching
my living
it.
room.
Yeah, in my living room. It's just weird. It's like Black Widow came out, and then Shang-Chi came out, and the Eternals came out, and it's like, I don't know.
Well, the Eternals, we can't. They're keeping it in the theater. I'm over here like, hello, how long do I have to wait?
I've heard that they're keeping it in the theater because it's so terrible.
No.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's the rumors I heard. It's so bad that nobody wants to watch it. They're delaying it on streaming to keep negative reviews off the internet.
Oh my God, I've been so excited for it.
Apparently, it's quite bad. I don't know. I won't know until I watch it. But
we have Game of Thrones duo in there. We've got Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
they better not mess this up.
That's a hard sell for me for the Game of Thrones because I've never watched it.
You never watched it.
Oh,
Game of Thrones.
I haven't watched it yet. That's what I want to say. I haven't watched it yet.
I'll make you do it at some point.
I flirted with the idea of Game of Thrones like last week on a random Wednesday. It was on HBO, like, HBO Max. It popped up and I was like, oh, maybe I'll give this a spin.
Do it. It's going to take a hot minute, though. There's
yeah, I know.
6 seasons
and
something?
And they're like big hour-long episodes?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Okay. Well, all right, I'll watch it. Look, I'll watch Game of If you guys watch Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, I'll go watch Game of Thrones. It'll be a nice little even exchange, right?
Not time, but...
Right? Nice, even exchange. Well, anyway, you guys, today, instead of talking about Marvel movies, which is fun, what I would like to do that's even more fun, yay! We got some news and some advocacy and some activism to do today. Danielle Jones and I decided that today would be a great day to do some tweeting. So we are going to do some tweeting at some Congresspeople. CASA has a great little tool where you can, I'll show you how it works. Great little tool. It'll help you find your Congresspeople. Then we're going to tweet this, really like this one particular link at as many Congresspeople politely, as many Congresspeople as we possibly can. And that's going to be happening today because Michael Pesko, it's Michael Pesko, isn't it? Michael Pesko at the University of Georgia did some NIH, that's government-funded National Institutes of Health, science, some economy science on taxing e-cigarettes. And the conclusions that this study came to are pretty shocking. If you're not really like aware of what's going on, they weren't that shocking to me. It was a little bit shocking, but it wasn't like that. I kind of went, yeah, that
makes sense.
That makes sense. If you tax vaping, there's going to be more smokers. Yeah, that's going to be a thing. So we're going to read this. article, or this document rather, and we're going to tweet this document at all of our politicians, all of our congresspeople, your individual congresspeople, my and Danielle's individual congresspeople. And there's 3 people in particular that I don't know off the top of my head that Danielle Jones does that we're going to focus our message a little bit to. Who are those people, Danielle Jones? Let me write these names down.
Yeah. So if our listeners live in West Virginia, Nevada, or Arizona, if you live in one of those 3 states, West Virginia, Nevada, or Arizona, we really need you, because you have some moderate Democratic senators, federal senators, who are already have expressed that they do not like this nicotine tax. And the way that things are going right now, I'm not an expert political analyst, but from what I understand, these 3 senators who are moderate Democrats, the Democrats need every single Democrat in the House and the Senate to pass the Build Back Better plan. They have to, every single one. And so if you've been watching the news lately, you may have heard on other topics that, for example, Joe Manchin has a lot of power in this, process, because they really need his vote. So it comes down to a few. And these 3 from West Virginia, Nevada, and Arizona have expressed that they do not support the nicotine tax, that they do not like it, and then they would like to see it removed.
Yes.
So what we need to do, and they have the power to hold all of this up because of that's how dicey this situation is. So what we really need to do is, if you live in any of those states, you really need to reach out to your senators and very nicely, right? We're not yelling at people because they've already said they like us.
They want to help. They've already said these senators want to help us and get this nicotine tax out of here. We're just here to go, thank you.
Thank you. Please do that.
Please
do that. Follow through.
Please do that. And thank you.
We're here. We're watching. We've seen that you support us, and we would like for you to keep doing that, please. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so that's what we're doing. West Virginia, Arizona, Nevada, those are critical to reach out to your congresspeople. But really, everybody should be reaching out to their congresspeople.
Everybody should do it. And,
right?
With the CASA call to action, it makes it real easy if you want to send emails. That targets everybody, all your House reps, all your Senator people. It'll send it. Now, the House, there's not a whole lot of hope for them to potentially. We don't have any super friendlies in the House who might help us take this out. That's where it got added back in, was in the House. But in the Senate, we potentially have some friends there. So we really need to stress that we really want their support, and just continue tweeting, we're here, we're watching. Here. Thank you. Please follow through on what you're saying that you're going to do.
Yes. Follow through. So we're going to be tweeting. I'm going to be tweeting. We're going to be tweeting. In fact, we're just going to jump right into the main thing, because it's like the main thing. We do have some newsy bits, but we're doing a upside down stream today. So it's something you're going to have to deal with. Yes. Tweeting at our congresspeople.
Yep.
This is you want to feel patriotic, tweet at your congresspeople.
Yeah.
We can communicate directly with them. This is part of the process, This is how you get to be involved.
Participate in the democratic process.
Participate in the democratic process. Participate in I hate to use the word social justice because it's such a dirty word, but God damn it, that's what this is.
Yeah.
That's 100% what this is. So participate. So I have a tweet ready to go, and I'm going to tweet first at Dick Durbin, I guess, because he's the one who introduced this stupid tax. Initially, like a very beginning, it was Dick Durbin that wanted to level set everything.
Oh, was it? I don't even remember.
The original tax came from Dick Durbin wanting to level set because e-cigarettes, despite FDA saying they are appropriate for the protection of public health, e-cigarettes were not being taxed at the same rate as combustible tobacco, you see, and Dick Durbin would not let that stand. So Dick Durbin is the one who initially created this tax, and then whatever, it mutated, got yanked out, reinserted, got the tobacco, like the combustion tax taken out of it, and now it's literally only a tax on nicotine and vapor products.
Correct. Yeah, it was House Budget Committee Chairman John Yarmouth who reinserted. So they had taken out it was cigarettes and nicotine.
Yep.
They took it out, and then he reinserted it during the markup of the current House version, without the cigarette tax, just a straight nicotine tax. They did reduce the amount from what they had previously put in. So whatever the price per milliliter or milligram per milliliter they had in there before, they did reduce it, but they took the cigarette component out of it. So they're not raising taxes on cigarettes. They're just creating a tax supposedly like on par with but that's like impossible to.
It's impossible.
There's no equal tax. Like, doesn't work that way.
And the fact that they can't understand that,
no,
that's worrying.
Yeah.
That's worrying.
Because you've got the difference between like the contents of nicotine in a cigarette versus the yield versus how much the person actually
absorption.
Absorbs.
Yeah.
It doesn't no. And they're like, "Oh, well, vaping, you put it right on the bottle, so we're just using that number." And it's like,
yeah.
No.
You don't understand it. You don't understand. You don't care to understand. So we try to force them to understand, I guess. We try to tweet at their faces. Try to tweet at their faces. So let's move to this. This is my tweet that I had ready to go for Dick Durbin, since he kicked all this off. And I thought, I feel like this is a polite tweet. Danielle, do you have any criticisms for this tweet? Asking Dick Durbin to please review this data from NIH. An e-cig tax in the BBB plan would result in approximately 500,000 extra teenage smokers overall. Hashtag no Nick tax.
I think that is nice. If it were me, I'm a stickler for facts. I would say NIH funded. It was funded, but it wasn't done by them. You know how I am particular about these things, but NIH funded study.
Fudded.
There you go.
This asking Dick Durbin to please review this data funded by NIH. An e-cig tax in the BBB plan would result in approximately 500,000 extra teenage smokers overall.
Yes, love it.
Looks good. So, and I'm trying to use this hashtag no Nick tax.
Do it.
No Nick tax, NIC tax, and then capitalize NNT. And then it looks like a good real hashtag that we can use. And so I'm going to tweet this at Dick Durbin. And what we're going to be tweeting at these people is, oh, look at that. Can I show that on YouTube? Is YouTube going to ding me for showing blood falling on Carrie?
Well, what happens. It's fake.
And it's under a Michelle Mitten tweet, which isn't surprising. So it's cool. It's fine.
Oh, Twitter.
Oh, Twitter, you wonderful place. So that's out there at Dick Durbin. And look, I've got a few more tweets ready to go, waiting in the wings. And what we're going to be tweeting today at all of these politicians, all of them. Kid Bass, we're going to show you how to do this. Let's do this. You can go over to CASA.org, except I can't show my address. So here, let's do this.
Put your address in first.
You can go. I know it still shows it at the top, though.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It's okay. Get involved, right? Legislator lookup. Okay.
Yep.
Get involved. Legislator lookup. Here, I can't do that because that's my address. Get involved. Legislator lookup. And you can put in your address like I'm about to do right now. And, submit it. And it brings up, yeah, look at everything you need. Literally everything you need. And so all we're focusing on today is federal Senate. Federal Congresspeople,
right now, yeah.
Senators, right? Like today, at least that's what we're focusing on.
Yes.
So apart from Dick Durbin and apart from lots of other politicians that we're going to be tweeting at today, my other two options are Dianne Feinstein and Alejandro Padilla. I'm not super familiar with Alejandro Padilla. I didn't even know that he was a congressman. Like, if I'm being really honest, I thought it was somebody else.
He took over for somebody. He took over for somebody. Oh, he took over for Kamala, right? Because she got VP, and so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's why we don't really know him.
Yeah,
because I don't think anybody voted per se. He
can't be worse than Kamala Harris. Can't be worse. So we have Senator Alejandro Padilla, and so I'm going to tweet this link, this paper, at them, as everybody should be.
Yes.
Go to CASA, find your legislators, and tweet at them.
And if you have no idea what paper we're talking about, we will get to it shortly.
I'm going to read it in 1 second, but right before I tweet at Feinstein again. No, let's save it. No, let's tweet at her right now because I need to fix the no Nick tax.
I want to mention Mallory Gates had a great idea. She mentioned that you guys can tweet at those particular senators that I mentioned earlier from those 3 states, even if you are not a constituent of theirs, even if you don't live in their state, you can tweet them thanking them for their support.
Yeah.
That's another way to do it, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to, because you're not a constituent, so you can't be like, I want you to do this, because they don't represent you, right? But as a just regular concerned vapor citizen, you can say, thank you very much, Senator, for supporting, and then that kind of holds them accountable, right? Because if somebody tells you thank you for something that you were planning on not doing anymore, then you feel weird about it.
Yeah,
so
it's true. Right? That's a thing. That is a true thing.
Totally
like,
a thing.
I wasn't going to do that anymore. Now I have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what should I say to Senator Manchin? Thank you, Senator Manchin, for...
Let's see, for your pro-public health stance opposing the nicotine tax in the BBB plan.
I like this. You're like ghostwriting a tweet for me. This is spectacular.
I am.
You have such a better way with words than I do. Thank you, Senator Manchin, for your pro-public health stance opposing the nicotine tax in the BBB plan.
As Mike Pesko has shown.
There he is, Pesko. You pesky Pesko. As Mike Pesko
has shown. Maybe in his research.
Yeah, as Mike Pesko has shown in his NIH. I'll try to throw that in there as often as I can.
NIH-funded research.
NIH-funded research. That carries a lot of, like, weight behind it.
Because it's not industry-funded.
It's not industry.
Government-funded,
This
basically.
is straight up
that
NIH.
That should be their little gold standard, right? Because it's not like the evil vape companies have twisted the data.
That evil PMI science.
Right.
Damn you, Altria, and your science on harm reduction. This is NIH. It's government funded, baby.
Yeah. So research. So as Mike Pesko has shown in his research, this tax will generate. How many more smokers did he say overall?
Should I do a quote?
Wasn't it? Yeah, I would do a quote. Is it like 2.5 million or something? He said it somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's
millions.
2.5 million. 2.5 million nationally.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to quote this. Right? That's pretty good. We'll generate this tax would raise the number of daily adult cigarette smokers to 2.5 million nationally. Oh, am I going to have enough room for the link? See, I didn't follow the rules.
This is how we write tweets on the fly sometimes. Look at that. Can you do your hashtag?
I can't do the hashtag. I can't fit the hashtag. Bummer. Damn it, I can't fit the hashtag. Here's what I'm going to do. In BBB. Right? That leaves me enough room for no Nick tax.
You guys are seeing how the sausage
Plenty
is made.
Of space, yeah. Danielle gives me constant pointers on like tweeting and tweets and making sure you fit all the information and get the right, you tag them and anyway. Okay, so here we go. We're thanking Senator Manchin because he wants to help us. As we've established, he's against this nicotine tax.
Yeah, he said it was nonsense or something.
Nonsense.
It didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense. I thought, it doesn't. It doesn't. So we're saying thank you, Senator Manchin, for your pro-public health stance opposing the nicotine tax in BBB. As Mike Pesko has shown in his NIH-funded research, this tax would raise the number of daily adult cigarette smokers by 2.5 million nationally. Hashtag no Nick tax. Hashtag the document.
Print it.
Go, Senator Manchin, go. Off into the world.
That's how you write a nice tweet.
That's how you write
encouraging them to do what you want very nicely.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Very nice and personable and just
Yeah, we're not yelling at Raja like last time.
No yelling at Raja.
We're being nice.
No shaming science deniers, although that's so fun.
It is, but right now, with these three in particular,
I guess
we are... Come! Be friends with us!
Yes. Let's hold hands. We'll sing Kumbaya as everyone quits smoking around you.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So the link that we're tweeting, you can also definitely add Toonie. You're a big fan of that. I know you are. So get out there and get Twitter. Use the hashtag #NoNicTax. #NoNicTax. I had one for the screen here. Here it is. #NoNicTax. #NoNicTax. Hashtag #NoNicTax. And so, okay, so what we're tweeting at them is, some of you may have read this or seen it in passing. Maybe some of you haven't. I'm going to sit and read a bunch of this right now because it's a letter from who we just mentioned, Michael Pesko, to members of Congress. And as we mentioned, this is a NIH, National Institute of Health, government-funded study on essentially taxing e-cigarettes, taxing harm reduction products. What are the ramifications or consequences, whether unintended or not, of this tax, if it was gone through and, written as it is today.
Right.
And so this is just great. Dear members of Congress, what a great letter. This is so great, you guys. Dear members of Congress, my name is Michael Pesko, and I am an associate professor in the Department of Economics at Georgia State University. Yeah. Does that mean I have to get a Georgia State hat now?
I mean,
I might. Can I send it to Michael Pesko, get him to sign it?
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. Georgia State University. He says, I have a $1.4 million grant from the National Institutes of Health to conduct e-cigarette policy evaluation research, including evaluation of e-cigarette taxes. Makes it a point to say, I do not receive funding from the tobacco industry or any related groups. That's gold. That's gold to a congressperson's ears. They don't want industry science or industry influence or, any other
even though that's good enough for FDA to make judgment calls off. But whatever, it's cool. It's fine.
Look, that's none of my business. Just be Kermit sipping the tea. It's none of my business. He says, I want to share what I have learned about e-cigarette taxes from my NIH-funded research. These scientific opinions are co-signed by other highly regarded health economists that I have co-authored this research with. The version of the Build Back Better Act released on November 3rd and currently under consideration by the House of Representatives would raise e-cigarette taxes to a level comparable to cigarette taxes and exceeding cigarette taxes for some e-cigarette products. The act does not change the cigarette tax rate. Okay, I'm not going to go on a big soapbox, but FDA has said that these are appropriate for the protection of public health. That's out there now. Now that that's out there, I feel like we can use that. Look, FDA, our own FDA using industry science, has said that but something like this is appropriate for the protection of public health. I don't see how anybody could want to tax it more now that that's out there.
Same.
I mean, logic dictates that's what would happen, right? If you discover that something's less harmful, you go, okay, we'll tax it less. We'll tax it based on the harm and not...
Maybe don't tax it at all.
Or maybe don't tax it at all. Maybe actually incentivize adult smokers to switch to less harmful vaping
Maybe
products.
Subsidize it.
Maybe even subsidize it. Good
what
Lord.
A radical thought.
We subsidize Elon Musk. We got him to be the richest guy in America now. He's richer than Jeff Bezos, which is crazy.
Help millions of people stop smoking and incentivize them to do it.
Yeah, literally.
They already do it with nicotine patches and gums. It's not like it's a new concept.
Yeah, and they even, here's what kills me about nicotine patches and gums. We've talked about this before. There's no dual use with nicotine patches and gums. They don't consider that dual use. They encourage that. Use more gum. Use as much gum. Preload your nicotine and use all your gum. And they don't for lack of a better term, they don't shit on dual users if you sneak a cigarette while you're having a patch. But for some reason, if you're a cigarette smoker and you try a vape, then, oh, you're just better off smoking. You might as well just smoke.
Yeah.
Some
BS.
It's some BS. This act does not change the cigarette tax rate. He goes on to say, my NIH-funded research spanning 10 peer-reviewed published papers evaluating e-cigarette policies and complementary work from other researchers shows that across an array of analytic approaches, e-cigarettes and other nicotine vaping products function as what economists call substitutes for conventional cigarettes. This. Why is this part so difficult for Congress and politicians to understand that these are product substitutes?
Because they've been told by Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids that they were just invented to hook teenagers.
Right.
That's the answer to that question.
Good.
Their sole purpose is to hook a whole new generation.
The only reason that these exist is to hook kids. That's why Big Tobacco invented them.
Yeah, because
none of that's true.
I think it was, I just want to interject this real quick. It was somebody, Amanda Wheeler from AVM has an awesome Twitter Spaces broadcast that she does every Monday. And somebody yesterday on that broadcast, I can't remember, she had Alex Norsha and I think it was Guy Bentley on, if I'm not mistaken. And forgive me, I can't remember which one of them talked about this, but one of them said, people have a fundamental misunderstanding of how advertising works. Think about it this way, right? So when you say that, oh, the vape companies are out there just trying to hook all the teenagers, right? That is as stupid as saying, let's look at cat food manufacturers, okay? People who make cat food,
Cat food, sure.
Are they out there trying to advertise to people that don't have cats to get them to buy cats? No, that's not what they're doing. They're talking to people who already have cats, feed their cats something else, and they want to switch them over to their brand. That's what like 90% of advertising is trying to get a consumer who's already using this sort of product just to use yours instead of your competition's.
Yes.
That's what most of advertising, right? We're not trying to get people to buy cats, right? And buying cats would be advertising to teenagers. That's what that would be.
Right.
Teenagers, don't vape, don't smoke, don't do anything. We don't want them.
We don't need them as a customer.
Right. We're trying to get people who smoke. That's what's going on here. So it is as stupid as cat food manufacturers trying to get people to buy cats.
Who is that? Guy Bentley? That is great. Did he say that? That is smart.
I think it was Guy. It was either Guy or Alex, but I think it was Guy.
That is really great. I got to go, I went out and had drinks with Alex Norcia. Went to a tiki bar and knocked down some tiki drinks and just bullshitted. It was great. He's a great guy. Really, really funny, smart guy. Anyway, I just want to throw some street cred out there. But yes, that is as dumb, and I don't understand how they don't understand what a product substitution is. Right? The idea that even, this is a perfect example, Danielle Jones. What's your beverage next to you there? You have a Coke Zero?
I have a Coca-Cola Zero and cherry flavor.
Coke Zero, no sugar, right? Harm reduction. Harm reduction. That's harm reduction.
Get my flavors without the diabetes on the side.
Your alternative is regular Coca-Cola with sugar in it.
Right.
But you are going to substitute that product with a less harmful version of that same product. Product substitution!
That's exactly what we're talking about.
That's insane. It's insane that that's what drives me insane. That's what drives me insane. I hope.
And Coke Zero is not advertising to people who hate soda and don't drink it. That's not their target audience, right? If you don't drink soda, Coke isn't advertising to you. If you drink
maybe
Pepsi,
they are. I feel like they're
advertising.
They're definitely advertising to you. 100%.
Fundamental misunderstanding of how people use products and how advertising works.
And he even goes on, Pesko goes on in this paper to say, like, okay, in practical terms, if e-cigarettes and cigarettes are substitutes, then raising the price of one on average leads people to increase the use of the other. Because that's how product substitutions work. If there was no Coke Zero cherry flavor, regular Coca-Cola sales would be through the fucking roof because there's no product substitution going on.
Right.
I like that Mike Pesko has to explain this. Sorry, maybe he wants to go by Michael. I don't want to, sometimes.
I think I've heard both. I feel like I've heard both.
Sometimes there's a thing that happens. We're going to go on a tangent real quick. People with names like me, like Nicholas or Michael or Frederick, when you're young, you're called Fred, Mike, Nick. You have the short version. But something happens in your 40s where it's like, maybe I do want people to start using my full name. Maybe I want to be Nicholas now instead of Nick. Because when someone says the name Nick, I think of like 10-year-old Nick. Like just little Nick. I'm 10-year-old Nick and everybody calls me Nick. And it's like when I get to be a 45-year-old adult and someone calls me Nick, it's like, what are you, my grandmother?
Do you want me to start calling you Nicholas?
No. I mean, I'm not saying that for sure right now. I'm just saying that there's something that happens mentally where I've considered, I'm like, maybe I want to go by my full name. Maybe I'd like people to call me Nicholas. So I could see Michael desiring to be called Michael Pesko rather than Mike.
I've been raging the other way my entire life, right?
Oh, really?
A lot of people I meet really want to give me a nickname. Which I get. My name's kind of long, right? Danielle. It's a mouthful.
I just say Danielle Jones. I say the whole thing.
See, I think it sounds great, the whole thing. I love it when people use my full name. It's glorious.
Yeah.
It's not the reason I married my husband, but it was a great perk. Okay. It was a great perk.
Yeah.
But no, a lot of people that I meet in my life really want to call me Danny. Okay. I abhor
Danny.
That I just don't like it, and it's fine for other people, and that is great, but I personally do not want to be called Danny. I don't. And so I've always been like, no, somebody does it and I'm like, you stop right there. That is not my name. Okay. Because I think it comes from the fact that my entire life people pronounce my name Daniel because they don't realize there's a girl version and a boy version.
Yeah.
One has 2 extra letters and it's the girl version.
Yeah. One has an extra L and an extra E.
Oh no. Most of my life I was Daniel Bloss because nobody could pronounce my last name either. I have pronouncing issues in my life. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I married my husband, nobody has mispronounced my name since.
No, straight up just American name. Jones.
Yep.
Just Jones. Danielle Jones.
Yeah.
So might be Mike Pesko, might be Michael. Might be Michael
Mr. Pesko. Dr.
Mr. Pesko.
Oh,
Dr. Pesko?
Is he a PhD? I don't know.
Official on here? I think Pesko is a PhD.
Look at the letter. It should say.
I'm not gonna see.
Are there letters after his name?
PhD.
It's Dr. Pesko.
That's Dr. Pesko. All right, Dr. Michael Pesko. I like that. I'm going to call you Dr. Michael Pesko. Dr. Michael Pesko says, I don't even remember where I left off. Substitutes, that's right. Product substitutions. Okay, he says, in practical terms, if e-cigarettes and cigarettes are substitutes, then raising the price of one on average leads people to increase the use of the other. Given extensive peer-reviewed evidence indicating that these products are substitutes, an unintended but inevitable effect of increasing taxes on e-cigarettes is to increase cigarette use. Given that cigarettes are believed to be substantially more harmful than e-cigarettes, this effect on cigarette use is concerning. Yes, and I hope that other Congresspeople will go, yes, Dr. Michael Pesko, that is concerning. He says, our economic evaluations of existing state and county e-cigarette taxes find that increasing e-cigarette taxes to parity with cigarette tax rate will sizably increase cigarette use across teens, adults, and pregnant women, compared to taxing tobacco products differentially in proportion to their health risks. Across various papers, we find several concerning consequences of large e-cigarette tax increases. You know what some of those are? Yeah, literally nothing good. Literally nothing good. Stimulating the current bill's e-cigarette tax on teen tobacco use indicates that this policy would reduce teen e-cigarette use by 2.7 percentage points, but that 2 in 3 teens who do not use e-cigarettes due to the tax would smoke cigarettes instead. direct product substitutions. Imagine that. When something you use gets taxed too much, you'll go to the version that's taxed less.
Yep.
Because that's such like a basic... Anyway.
Captain Obvious.
Yeah, really very like Captain Obvious. It's like one of those things that's so obvious that it's painful when someone can't understand it. It's like, whoa.
And someone has to write it out in a letter to Congress.
Right,
like the fact that he has to do this
I know.
is sad. I love him for doing it. But it's sad that he has to.
Sad. Yeah, it's sad. It said, he says, this would result in approximately 500,000 extra teenage smokers overall. This finding that teens substitute to cigarettes in response to e-cigarette taxes has also been documented using National Youth Tobacco Survey data. I didn't know that.
Fancy.
And that's just another thing in this letter to Congress that's like, I think that's going to perk up their ears. Because they hear, National Youth Tobacco Survey, that's CDC data. They go, that's where the epidemic came from.
If you care about the children, why are you going to make them smoke more?
Yeah, if you care about the children, why you want to make them smoke more? Doesn't make any sense. Using National Youth Tobacco Survey data, which is crazy. So extra 500,000 teenage smokers, that's whatever. That's a small price to pay to keep 2.7% of teens from experimenting with vaping, I think.
Yeah.
That's a completely reasonable, rational position to take. He also says this tax would raise the number of daily adult cigarette smokers by 2.5 million nationally and reduce the adult e-cigarette users by a similar number. So we'd have 2.7 million less e-cigarette users, and those people would, because product substitution, just go buy some stinking cigarettes that are freely available and taxed less.
Yeah.
Taxed less.
You sounded like a squeaky toy just there.
Yeah, that's the inhale. Less. It says, for every e-cigarette pod eliminated by an e-cigarette tax, more than 5.5 extra packs of cigarettes are sold instead. That is huge. Like, that is one of the bigger points. If you're talking to Congress, you should probably mention, like, the youths smoking more, since they're very youth-oriented, since we've bent our adult world into a youth-shaped world. It's obnoxious beyond words. But yeah, since that's what they seem to care about, I think that's one of the points that we should hammer home, is that this will create
Yep.
500,000 extra teenage smokers overall nationwide. Just
like what you tweeted to Durbin.
Yep, exactly. Just exactly like I tweeted to Durbin. And that's crazy. One e-cigarette pod eliminated by an e-cig tax, more than 5.5 packs of cigarettes are sold instead.
It's crazy.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
That's shocking. That's one of those, people are wondering, wonder why cigarette sales went up for the first time in 2021. Well,
there's a lot of theories about that too, though. Because apparently the number of people reporting smoking decreased, but the sales increased. So there's some theories that people were pandemic stocking up, just to throw some fact checking.
Oh, really? Pandemic stocking on cigarettes?
Yep.
I could see that.
Buying up larger so you don't have to go to the store, or if there's supply chain issues or whatever they think is going to happen.
Yep.
Because apparently the number of people who smoke did still go down nationally, as I understand it, but the purchases went up.
Wow. Huh. I don't even know what to make of that. I guess stocking up does kind of make some sense.
I think a lot of people did, somebody who usually buys a pack at a time bought a carton instead, or bought a whole bunch of cartons. That's one of the theories that I've heard. It's a little bit of a confusing statistic that's out there.
That is really very interesting. Well, there you go. Okay, so Mike Pesko goes on to say, for every 3 pregnant women that do not use e-cigarettes due to an e-cigarette tax, 1 will smoke cigarettes instead.
Yikes.
That's horrible. Mm-hmm. So this tax, if it goes through, that's what we're trying to prevent, if it goes through, e-liquid would just be ridiculously expensive. So, that's just that's not even something that you could bring up to a congressperson. Like,
Right.
My e-liquid's going to be really expensive. I don't need a $75 bottle of e-liquid. I can't afford a $75 bottle of e-liquid. That doesn't hold much weight. But everything else in here, I mean, smoking, pregnant women and children, like those are talking points. You know what I mean? Those are like congressional talking points. If you're bringing up kids and pregnant women, like,
come on, you gotta
come
those
on,
are the populations
have
that,
a heart.
That need us. Seriously,
have a heart. I'm gonna tweet again.
Yeah, do it.
Where do we end up? Feinstein. Let's see what's going on with Dianne Feinstein over here. No Nick tax. So this is what I crafted to Feinstein. Hello, Senator Feinstein. I urge you to please see this NIH-funded science by Mike Pesko showing the BBB nicotine tax will raise the number of adult cigarette smokers by 2.5 million nationally. This is anti-health. Hashtag no Nick tax. Hashtag link to the paper.
Yeah.
Did I put a link to the paper literally anywhere? It should be in the description. If it's not there, it could be in the chat. And I'll put it there in a
look,
thingy.
it's like Inception. We can see
Bing.
us seeing us.
Oh, whoa, you can. How long could we leave this going for? Oh.
I'm looking at you, looking at me, looking at me, looking at you. I don't know.
Whoa. Okay, sorry. Sorry, that got out of hand.
Technology is distracting.
Technology is distracting. So that's the thing. I put it in the chat. It's going to be in the description. Keep that going in the chat, that link, because that's the link that we're tweeting at people. So this is where we're going to tweet this at Feinstein.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
No Nick tax. There we go. Oh, yeah. See, look, Skip Murray, the pirate's getting on board.
There we go.
Get some tweets going. Get some retweets going.
Do some tweets, and Nick might shout you out on this here stream. Look at
Yeah,
that.
100%. Let's see. Is there any no Nick tax? Nope, just me. Oh, wait, Face Meat. Hell yeah, Face Meat.
Yeah, Face Meat.
Retweeting the shit out of Face Meat. Has no place in the BBB. That's a good tweet.
Yeah,
Face Meat, that is a damn good tweet.
So there you go. High five to Senator Manchin. Yeah, do it, Face Meat.
Yep. You would also. Expand on activity. Yep. Good job, Neff. People are using Darren. Oh, tweeting. Yeah. See, look, Darren's taking it upon himself to find his congresspeople. Oppose the BBB. FDA has stated vaping is appropriate for the protection of public health. Also, as Mike Pesko stated in his NIH-funded research, the tax would raise the number of daily cigarette smokers. Yes, Darren, what a good tweet. Damn, that's a damn good tweet. Tribal Buddha, gold star. Thank you for your pro-public health stance and opposing the nicotine tax. As Mike Pesko, yes.
You guys
Fuck
are
yeah,
my
Tribal
favorite.
Buddha. I love you guys. Let's keep this party going. It's only a few tweets, but man, that got me pumped. I'm all excited. I'm all pumped for this. No Nick tax. All right, here I got to take the Dixon off here because it's way too warm in here. And I want to shout out Pam in the chat. PSS. I'm wearing a green shirt for Pam today.
That's my shirt that I designed.
Yeah, this is the Danielle Jones Casa Weapons of Mass Disruption T-shirt. I think. Oh no, this is Vaping Saves Lives.
Oh, that's the Vaping Saves Lives.
This is Vaping Saves Lives. My dearest patron and subscriber Pam suggested I wear less black, so I said
that's fair.
I will try. So look at this green T-shirt.
I'm wearing everyone's favorite Polaroid sweatshirt.
I love the Polaroid sweatshirt.
Polaroid.
It's my favorite.
Thank Target for this.
Yeah.
I see you, chat. Every time I put it on, I'm like, chat's gonna love this.
Polaroid. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I love it. And thank you guys for tweeting. Keep going. Keep tweeting. Tweet some things. Find some other people. Retweet them. You know, this isn't like, I'm not trying to get no Nick tax trending or, you know, this isn't like a big social media Twitter bomb campaign. I just wanted to get some tweets going because this is being discussed actively right now. And, you know, like Danielle said, if we can focus down on West Virginia, Arizona, and Nevada, those people already, you know, run the risk of repeating myself. They're friendly to us. They want to help us. And so we need to help them help us.
Mm-hmm.
Encourage them.
Encouragement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Encouraging. So now that that's rolling, and we've read most of this Mike Pesko paper, I'm going to leave this paper in the description for everybody to read and tweet. One thing that I do love that he did, and I don't know if this was outside of his purview or whatever for this paper from NIH, but he really lays some science down in this paper. He talks about, the National Academies of Science and Engineering saying that e-cigarettes are likely to be far less harmful than cigarettes. He mentions, the developing brain thing. He talks about this hasn't been documented in humans, nor has it been compared to other substances such as caffeine, alcohol, or THC. He mentions the Cochrane Library Systematic Review. These are some of the best in the world. And he talks about that e-cigarettes are effective, more effective than nicotine replacement therapy. And so kind of in addition to what he did on the economy tax side of it, he threw in a whole mess of really other useful science around vaping. I mean, he threw the Cochrane Systematic Reviews library in there. This letter has a lot of weight behind it. There's a lot of data and a lot of science in this letter. And just reading this letter, I don't know. I'm an eternal optimist. Yeah. So as soon as I read this letter, I think that's it. We won. Congress is going to change their minds because Mike Pesko is so convincing. And, I get a little bit too excited, but I still think that this has the possibility to be a very, very good thing. So agree. He kind of goes on to talk about, harm reduction and talking about skepticism and talking about how there's no gateway effect. He said a gateway effect never materialized. He talks about how in 2009, 19.5% of youths were using cigarettes, which seems about right. In 1994, when I was smoking in high school, it was like 28% of youths were using cigarettes. So in 2009, that number was 19.5%. And then Healthy People 2020 set a goal of having youth cigarette use lowered to 16%. That was their goal. They're like, we want to get youth smoking down to 16%. By 2019, a year before their goal, youth cigarette use was already at 6%. That's unbelievable. A year early, and they surpassed the goal by 386%. Michael Pesko points out, largely in part due to e-cigarettes. Likely. I think that's undeniable.
Yeah.
I think that's undeniable. And the idea that e-cigarettes, vaping, drove youth smoking rates down by accident. It wasn't totally. A promoted thing. Nobody was encouraging youths to vape. Nobody was encouraging anybody to do anything. And then just naturally,
on their own, they were like, this looks better.
Yeah, on their own, just accidentally. Now, imagine what vaping could do if it were actually promoted.
Yeah, pushed, supported.
Pushed.
Yeah.
That if it had been pushed, we would have no youth smoking. We would have zero youth smoking. It would have broken the smoking cycle in the United States of America.
And if we did it for adults too, I think that would plummet to ridiculous. Most countries, I think, from what I remember, they consider themselves basically smoke free if the under 5% of the population smokes.
Yeah,
I think that's what a lot of them, the metric that they use.
Yep.
I think we could have that easily if everybody understood and got behind harm reduction.
Yes. It would happen so fast. It would blow people's minds. It would.
And look at the UK, right? We already know. Look at Japan. We already see these things happening.
Yeah. The only reason that the smoking decline in the UK started trailing off was because of our misinformation. Was because of U.S. misinformation making its way to the United Kingdom and making their citizens apprehensive about vaping. And the government's going, no. What are you doing? Don't listen to them.
Stop
Don't listen to them. What are you doing? Stop
They're crazy.
And then they're like, well, what if we prescribed them? Do you think that would get more people? And they're like, yes. So they go, okay, we'll prescribe them as well. We'll get your doctor to tell you, yes. Don't listen to the United States.
Yeah, NHS will pay for them, right?
NHS will pay for this. You have free e-cigs. Yeah. Just please use this to quit smoking.
Yeah, that's what they're doing over there because they're smart.
Because they are smart. I saw something that said, because people always talk about the UK being an outlier. UK, outlier on vaping policy. Outlier.
I mean, they're like, I would say the most progressive on vaping policy.
They're not an outlier, but someone was saying, no, they're not an outlier. They're an innovator. They're ahead of this. They're at the front of this. They're a front runner in public health. They're not
just
an outlier.
like they were on smoking, by the way.
Exactly like they were on smoking. From literally the same group of doctors.
Yeah. Royal College of Physicians
that warned us about smoking.
Yeah, one of the first to warn us about smoking.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. So I guess I'm gonna read like the very end of this thing. He talks about being worried about youth e-cigarette use. Policymakers are understandably worried about youth e-cigarette use. His solution seems to be the most reasonable solution, and that is enrich and enforce the laws that we have. These are already illegal for underage people, and the reason that underage people are getting them from convenience stores is the secret shopper program, he says, is woefully,
underfunded
and underutilized, and he points out a few problems with this underage shopping thing is decoys aren't allowed to lie about their age as a normal, like if a kid walked in and said, how old are you? They would lie about their age.
Right.
A secret shopper isn't allowed to lie about their age. So store shoppers know who the secret shoppers are. Yeah. It's like a big red flag. The same thing used to happen. And the only reason I identify with this is because the same thing used to happen at Starbucks. When I worked in Starbucks retail, Starbucks has a robust secret shopper program where people literally just travel the country, go to Starbucks, and they be a regular customer. They try to talk to the baristas. They mark you down, like if you were greeted, if you wrote down their name, if you were offered a pastry, if the store was clean, and things like that. Right. And our store would consistently be amazing at these secret shoppers because we knew they were coming. Because other Starbucks store managers would go, I think we just had a secret shopper, and I think he's headed to Carson City, so just heads up.
Oh,
so we know the secret shopper's coming.
You guys had a network.
Yeah, even with as robust as it was with Starbucks, and they were really mysterious, we still kind of knew they were coming. So the idea that the FDA has less of a robust secret shopper program than Starbucks did, then of course youths are buying e-cigarettes and cigarettes because your secret shopper program sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. He ends it by saying scientific evidence supports e-cigarettes providing immediate benefits as a harm reduction product. Overall, my scientific opinion is that raising taxes on e-cigarettes and smokeless tobacco products to levels equivalent to cigarettes will increase cigarette use across all populations and cause significant public health harm. Let me know if you have any questions. Michael Pesko, PhD, Georgia State University.
And a bunch of other people signed
and
it too,
a whole mess of other people. That's what I was going to go through. I didn't recognize any names except for one. I only recognized Abigail Friedman. No Kenneth Warner, but we have Rahi Aubeck, PhD, Associate Professor, Department of Economics at William Patterson University. We have Chad. I'm bad with names.
Yeah.
Coty,
just go with the first one. First name.
Chad, PhD, Professor, Department of Economics at the University of Wisconsin. Charles, PhD, Associate Professor, Department of Economics, University of Kentucky. Abigail Friedman, that's the name I recognized. Associate Professor, Department of Health Policy and Management at the Yale School of Public Health. Joanna, PhD, Associate Professor, Department of Economics, Temple University and National Bureau of Economic Research. Eric, PhD, Associate Professor, Department of Economics, Ball State University. And National Bureau of Economic Research.
Oh, I went to Ball State for 1 semester.
Did you? Did you ever meet Eric Nelson? He was an associate professor in the Department of Economics there.
I was definitely not over there. I did my first semester of freshman year and then left. So.
And that's it? Just 1 semester
for
Ball State?
I moved to California and transferred to art school.
Oh, okay. I get you. So that incredible paper is the paper that we're tweeting. Sewer Rug, you want to do some tweeting? Let's do some tweeting. I'm going to tweet it. This is the gentleman that I don't know. He took Kamala Harris's spot in California.
I believe that is correct.
As we've established. Hello, Alex Padilla. As one of your constituents in the San Fernando Valley, please read this NIH-funded study showing this BBB nicotine tax would raise the number of daily adult cigarette smokers by 2.5 million nationally.
Yes.
Correct. The no nick tax. Boom. And then the paper. I didn't tag Michael Pesko. That's okay.
I think he'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
He's like suddenly our newest celebrity.
Yep.
It's like Pesko. And I've been following Michael Pesko for a
not
while.
Getting another notification.
Right.
Probably like, no, it's cool. You don't have to tag me.
Please stop mentioning me when you're tweeting this. Please.
Sorry, Dr. Pesko.
Sorry, Dr. Pesko. We're sorry, Dr. Michael Pesko. Go out into the world, tweet. Go out into the world.
Send it off.
Check the old no nick tax. Anybody tweeting? You guys tweeting? Sewer Rug, you tweeting? Let's get some more tweets going here.
Come on, guys, tweet.
Yes, thank you, Devin Van Buren. Yo, bro. Please. He found his congressional Senator Jim Onofre opposed the BBB. FDA has stated that vaping is appropriate for the protection of public health. Also, as Mike Pesko stated in his NIH-funded research, the tax would raise the number of daily cigarette smokers. Yes.
Do it.
Dang. Yes,
I think he gave us a super chat, too. Is that the same person?
Oh, was there a super chat that came in? I completely missed that. Oh, here, let me get off of this first. We don't need to watch my desktop swipe around all over the place. Oh, that's right. Look at that, Devin Van Buren. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm not able to super chat often, but I just wanted to tell you I'm thankful for everything you and Danielle Jones do for this awesome community. Devin, thank you. Completely our pleasure. It's a labor of love. Devin Van Buren. It's a labor of love. Harm reduction, tobacco harm reduction, and vaping this is the hill I'm dying on. This is it. This is my mission in life.
Yep.
This is my life's goal is to get vaping to be safe, legal, and accessible for everybody.
Agreed.
Flavored. I'm adding flavored in there. Safe, legal,
flavored
accessible,
vaping.
And flavored for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Hard agree.
Hard agree. So that's what we do, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Devin Van Buren, for being active. Don't just be an advocate, be an activist. Make action happen. Tweet at people.
Be engaged.
Be engaged. Take part in the process. God, it's so exciting. So exciting. So we're going to continue. We're going to do some more tweeting. We've already been at this an hour. It doesn't seem like it, but we're going to do some more tweeting. And there were a few newsy things I wanted to talk about as well. It's been a minute since I think we got to hear that.
I know. That jazzy little twangy number.
A jazzy little twangy number.
I'm just saying words. I don't know how to describe music.
It's pretty funky. I mean, I would describe that as like funk. It's got that.
Not a music aficionado. Sound. I listen to the Billboard Top 20. You guys don't listen to me.
Dude, that's cool. I'm fine with that. As long as you listen to some music.
Oh yeah, I listen
to some music. For a long time, my brother was like, I don't really listen to music. Like, what do you mean you don't really listen to music? Like that's.
I mean, I have periods of time where I kind of fall off a little bit. Like it just doesn't occur to me to like put it on. Mm-hmm. But when I hear it, I'm always like, oh, I need to listen to music some more.
Yeah,
like, work,
See, like for long stretches of my life, even up until now, I look for opportunities to listen to music. I'm like, when can I listen to music? Like, I want to listen to a record, but I'm editing a video, so I can't. But when I'm done editing, then I can put on a record, or then I can listen to Spotify, or, then I can have it play in the house on Sonos, and I look for the next opportunity I can listen to music. When's that going to be?
I need to be better
soon.
about that. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I could be listening to music right now.
And like, dude, music, when you hear a song you love, it changes your mood like so tremendously. And especially like, I know that you sometimes partake in the, cannabis. Occasionally, I don't want to out you or anything. But one of my favorite things is having some shed time, having some cannabis, and then listening to my favorite music because it's so rewarding. Like the level of joy I feel because it's amplified because of the cannabis, and you're just taking it in, and like songs that are impactful, or like there's songs that even when I'm stone cold sober will like give me the chills, where I'm like, oh, what a great song. And if I listen to that song with some shed time, it's like I'll just sob. Like it's so impactful and like so, such an impactful thing. I love it. Music.
Yep. Last week I was listening 24/7 to Zombie by the Cranberries.
Oh,
I heard it somewhere on a show, on a radio or something, and then I had it stuck in my head, and then I fed that by just listening to it nonstop on repeat for like a week. So then I kept having it in my head, and it was just a happy little snowball that I was like, I don't even care. I love it.
That's a great song. Great song, great band. I get random songs stuck in my head. You know what happens to me now with music that I hate? And I think I've mentioned this before, but side note, TikTok and Instagram have ruined music for me in a severe way, because I'll watch a TikTok with like 8 seconds of a song and I'm like, oh, what song is that? I don't know. So I just keep hearing the same little part over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. And I'm just singing one little melody, and it's not even a song that I know or a song that I like. It's just fucking stuck in there.
That happens to me. Have you seen the videos where they're like, it's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. That one. I don't even, I'm not going to sing it because no.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I don't even know what that's from, but I get it stuck in my head sometimes. Just that little 8-second clip of it. Like.
Yep. I get John Mayer, Watermelon Sugar High stuck in my head because of Instagram and TikTok. They always use that chorus, Watermelon Sugar High. Let me find the phone, my. It's on every Instagram reel and every TikTok ever, and I know, I can't help it. I woke up the other day, first thing in the morning, my first thought in the morning was John Mayer, and I'm like, this is not right.
No.
I don't want to be thinking about John Mayer first thing in the morning.
Ever since we watched all of Ted Lasso, very randomly, my husband and I will both get the Rickrolled song stuck in our head. Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yeah,
because they used it in that show, and oh my God, now
100%. Dude, Casey and I walked out of our wedding ceremony to that song.
Did you
Never
really?
Gonna Give You Up, yes.
I feel like
when
everyone
they
hates
pronounced
that song.
us man and wife, we left to Rick Astley.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's randomly in my head. Thanks, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Yeah. Oh, Ted Lasso is so good, though.
Oh, it is.
Oh, so good.
It took me forever, but we finally did it, and I was like, okay,
worth
everyone
it.
was right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yep.
Very good.
Everyone was, See, I was a skeptical early adopter of that show. It just started. Only one episode was up on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, okay.
We were like, should we try it? I don't know. I like Jason Sudeikis. He's pretty funny. I guess. Let's give it a try. Like, no reviews, one episode.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. It was like,
it's hysterical and it's adorable and it's fun.
It's so funny and so heartfelt, and like, it's really it's heartwarming as hell. Just really heartwarming.
All good. Although, so we didn't get interested until this last season just started. Like, we just so happened to start watching from the beginning, I think, as the newest season started airing. It won a bunch of awards, and we were like, okay, fine, we'll do it. Like,
reluctantly watching Ted Lasso.
Because I was worried. I've told you this before. I'm really picky about comedy. And I don't like sophomoric humor, circa like
a little bit
American
more refined
Pie,
of a comedic palette.
I'm real picky. I'm not a huge fan of like Anchorman or 40-Year-Old Virgin. I don't like that kind of humor.
Whoa,
I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't.
40-Year-Old Virgin even? Really?
I cannot
Steve
sit through
Carell?
that movie. I love Steve Carell, but not in that kind of stuff. I don't
Really?
I like him in more serious things.
Okay. Look.
Same with Will Ferrell. Hate him in comedies, love him in dramas.
Dude, his new drama on Apple TV Plus with Paul Rudd is bonkers good.
I don't think I know about this.
Check it out. I can't remember the name of it, but Will Ferrell, it's like a period piece, takes place in the 80s, and Will Ferrell, he's a drape store owner, and Paul Rudd is his therapist.
Oh.
It's awesome.
Okay,
Spectacular. Spectacular.
I'm gonna go find it.
It's much more a Danielle Jones comedy than like a Judd Apatow.
Yeah, see, I'm not down with that. Yeah. I like super bad type humor. I like Juno. I like that real witty.
Yeah, super
I like
bad Juno.
But I don't like the people getting waxed. I don't.
Like physical comedy.
It's like cringe for me. I don't.
I get that. I get it.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. We got on it. I'm always trying to talk about movies. I'm sorry.
I know. That's okay. That's fine.
I love talking about movies.
I love talking about movies too, but you know what else I love talking about? Science. Yeah. So this is some news. This just popped up on my feed today from Yahoo News. I posted this on Twitter and I said I was shocked that I didn't see this news from the American Heart Association. I feel like they would have been all over this if a big study was just released showing smokers who switch to vaping rapidly boost their heart health. Mm-hmm. How did that not come from the American Heart Association? Maybe because it's from London. They're an outlier, They're an outlier. But look, there's nothing we're going to read here that we haven't heard before. Chronic smokers who switched from tobacco cigarettes to e-cigarette vapes in a large randomized control trial saw significant improvement in markers for their heart health just after a month.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, look at that. Chronic smokers. And I like that they included chronic smokers because that paints a little bit better. I was a chronic smoker. Mm-hmm. That paints a little bit better. I can identify with that. I go, oh, chronic? That was me. I was a chronic smoker. Chronic smokers who switched from tobacco to e-cigarettes, vapes in a large randomized control trial. Significant improvement in markers of heart health after only a month.
Yep.
Just a month. Now imagine that vaping is encouraged and allowed to spread unfettered. Mm-hmm. Imagine what would happen in a year. There would be no more heart disease, no more lung cancer. Maybe not no more, but significantly reduced heart disease, significantly reduced lung cancer, significantly reduced, COPD, emphysema. Mm-hmm. I mean, significantly.
All of the smoking-related illnesses and diseases.
Yeah, all of them would be dramatically. That's the world I want to live in. Is that too much to ask?
I don't think so, but I'm biased. So
I know. Well, look, I'm biased too. In study results likely to be closely scrutinized by health specialists worldwide, British scientists found that cigarette smokers who switched to nicotine-containing vapes saw a marked boost to their vascular function. A marked boost to their vascular function. Doesn't that seem contrary to what we've been hearing in the United States, Danielle Jones, about vaping and cardiovascular function?
Yep.
Like the actual complete opposite?
Yeah. Because they do their studies in petri dishes and they do them on real humans. And there's different results.
No shit.
Yeah, because U.S. scientists are like, I'm going to take some cells that I scooped out of your heart and I'm gonna douse them in e-liquid,
right,
and then they're gonna die. So vaping kills you, even though in real life that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
but okay, like, I'm sorry.
Look,
I'm gonna get on a box and start yelling.
Look, I get it. It seems like a crazy clown world. The other night, granted this was on cannabis, I was thinking I could be a politician. I could do it. Because all you need to do is listen to your constituents and then do the exact opposite.
That's what a lot of them do.
That's all I see politicians do. Yeah. All of them. Maybe AOC listens to her constituents. Maybe AOC.
That's fair.
Everybody else gets ignored. And that's infuriating. I don't feel like I have ever been heard by a politician, ever. other than Duncan Hunter, the vaping congressman who ended up going to prison.
Jail?
I had a meeting with him. He's the only politician that made me feel heard, and then he ended up in jail. So I don't have a good track record of talking to politicians, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, politicians that come out in favor of vaping don't always have a great track record.
No, that's true. I know.
It's a lot of prison.
It's like Julie Casimiro. That's it.
Yeah, she's the only
Rhode Island
unscathed one.
She's the only unscathed U.S. politician to stand back vaping,
and then not have a scandal later.
Not have a scandal later. And even look,
unrelated to vaping, but
we're tweeting at Senator Manchin, who is not exactly beloved in the United States of America.
And not exactly without scandal, but
not exactly without his own scandal.
We still want his support on this,
right?
Regardless.
But we're playing the political game, so I can swallow my pride a little bit and tweet at Senator Manchin and say thank you for doing one thing that I like.
Yeah,
thank you for protecting my health.
On this, just have tunnel vision.
On
right?
this
you don't
one
have to
thing.
like other things. Thank them for this thing.
Mm-hmm. Thank them for that one thing. By switching from cigarettes to e-cigarettes, we found an average percentage point improvement of 1.5 within just 1 month. Britain's Dundee University, he says, to put that into context, each percentage point improvement in vascular function results in a 13% reduction in cardiovascular event rates, such as heart attack. So 1 percentage point is a 13% reduction in cardiovascular events. And within 1 month, all of these cigarette smokers had an improvement of 1.5, which is what? I don't know the percentage. What's that? 13, 14, 15% reduction in cardiovascular events such as heart attack?
Math.
I can't do math.
I do secret
to
math,
begin
but
with.
Not in front of people. Too much pressure.
Yeah, it's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. Too much pressure. Now, again, this is after a month. Imagine years. Imagine smokers being encouraged to switch.
Yep.
Cardiovascular events like heart attacks related to smoking would be such a distant memory. You wouldn't even.
Yep.
Like in the future smoke-free society that we're inevitably going to live in, we're going to think about lung cancer as like a archaic caveman disease.
Remember when us idiots used to light little papers on fire and inhale them?
Burn the smoke?
What were we thinking?
Yeah. That's exactly what it's going to be like. Exactly.
At some point, we'll just have chips in our heads and we can just press a button and be like, nicotine.
Nicotine. Boom. Psh, just releases into your brain. Nicotine. Psh, releases into your brain. I kind of would rather vape. Like I'd rather vape.
I would too. Yeah.
That's why it's like I use snooze sometimes, but it's not my preferred way to get nicotine. I would much rather vape. I'll chew gum to get nicotine.
I don't even really like chewing gum.
Nicotine gum is gross.
Yeah, and chewing gum in general, I'm just not really.
Oh, you're not a gummer? I've become a gum person lately.
No, I'm a candy person, but not a gum person.
Candy. Yeah, gum. I bought some fruit stripe gum the other day just for nostalgic reasons. It's still really bad. But gum, I'll chew nicotine gum to get nicotine. It's not my preferred way to get it. I'll chew nicotine gum. It's fine. I don't remember what my point was there, but
I don't either, but you'll chew it, so.
Yeah. So here's some science.
Yay.
Findings were published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, and there you go. This will further fuel the international debate. For some reason, there's an international debate on harm reduction. This will help fuel that. I'll put a link to this. I'm still on the screen sharing. I always
Seeing how the sausage is made.
Seeing how the sausage is made. You can see my boring YouTube backgrounds. Boom. There's that in the chat. So we're still up here with the no nic tax smokers. I guess we can sort of wrap this up with, I wanted to mention, okay, apart from this, So this is a quick thing. I'm not sure if we have any Israeli vapors in the chat right now. I definitely know I have some Israeli vapors that do watch my videos and check the live streams, and I for sure have vapors from Israel in my Patreon. Israel is now proposing literally the world's highest vape tax in the world. In the world, and it would essentially be a $6.98 tax per mil on e-liquid.
Whoa.
Per mil. That's per mil of e-liquid.
That's crazy.
Bonkers. That's bonkers. $7 per mil tax on e-liquid, and each pod, singular pod, one pod would carry a tax of almost $11. One pod. Almost $11, because one pod is equal to a pack of cigarettes. Don't you know that? Don't you know that's the exact calculated transfer rate? One pod is a whole pack of cigarettes worth of nicotine?
I'm triggering the GIF that's the old ladies. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
That's not how any of this works.
That's my response to that.
So if you're in Israel, dude, I don't know.
That.
Yeah, fight that. I don't know what can be done. I don't know if there's the Israel Vaping Coalition or something, but I definitely know that there's vapors in Israel. I've talked to them, not personally face to face, but via the intranet. Bonkers. $7 per mil. $7 per mil.
That's crazy.
That's kind of unbelievable. I mean, that's bonkers. Are cigarettes for sale in Israel? I mean, they have to be, right? Cigarettes are everywhere.
Probably, right?
I can't imagine that they would have banned cigarettes in Israel, but that's what's going to happen in Israel. And there is a public comment period. I'm going to post this. Oh, wow. It's actually in Hebrew. That's fucking cool. We'll transfer this. I love the written Hebrew is one of my favorites. It just looks so cool. It's a cool language, and it looks cool. Well, there was a long period of time where I wanted to get Hebrew words tattooed on me.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was just anyway, it looks really cool. I'm going to have to translate
my husband had a
page.
bar mitzvah, so every once in a while he can pick out
really?
He's not good at it, but he remembers a tiny bit. He's like, I think that one means that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is open for public comments until... Does Israel do their date backwards like us?
I don't remember. What is it?
21/11/21.
Yeah, that's got to be backwards because there's only 12.
Okay.
Months, so.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm dyslexic, so I read that 12/11/21. Yeah. But it's 11.
It's 21.
Wait, it's 11/12/21. Oh, so the comment period is closed.
Oh.
The comment period is closed. Yeah, today's the 16th.
Oh,
so this comment period was supposed to be open until the 21st. Oh, it is 11/21/21. Okay. Hi. GrimmGreen.
We're live figuring that out together.
Dyslexic and really bad at math. So that's how we ended up here. November 21st is the cutoff date. So if you're in Israel, I'm going to put this link in the chat as well as in the description, so you can have your. No, it's too big of a link. It's okay.
Dear.
I'll put it in the description. I'll put it in the description for sure. Oh, it's because I had to translate it from Google.
Oh, just give them the raw link.
Oh, it's still really long. Let's see if I can put this in the chat. Nope, it's too big. It's 391. Really? Yeah.
Whoa, it's a long link.
So it's 391 characters long. So it's a really long link, but I will have it down in the description below. If you're in Israel, if you're an Israeli vapor and you want to continue vaping and not pay the highest tax, I mean, in the world, in the actual literal world, Israel would have the highest vape tax. That's frustrating. That's frustrating beyond words.
It is.
So that's what's happening there. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to mention, we're going to wildly speculate. Yo, Troy, appreciate you being here. What we're going to wildly speculate on now is we might have
we have one other thing. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see it in the...
It's at the top.
Is it?
Yep.
Damn. You're right. Let's do it right.
Okay. It's quick.
This is critical. There's no reason why I would have possibly skipped this on purpose. This is a critical thing that I'm a firm believer of. This is the EcigIntelligence 2021 Consumer Survey.
Yep.
This is done every year. Danielle, do you have any background on this?
Yes, every year, CASA works cooperatively with the EcigIntelligence folks, and we help them edit and develop questions for this survey. We've been working together for I don't even know how long, since before I was on the board. I've helped for the past couple years with it, but essentially they do this survey every year. It does ask you a lot of questions, a lot of detailed questions, because it's data that we are able to, they then share it with us for
household income.
Yeah, they want to know, like, this is how people gather, for example, like whether lower income people or higher income people, these statistics that we really like to have about people who smoke and do different things. You have to answer the question about yourself in order for us to have this data about vapors.
Right.
That's how we get it. So it is a lot of questions. I've occasionally heard from people, they feel it's too personal and they don't want to do it. I mean, it's not, it asks you about the kinds of brands of, vapes that you use and how much money your household makes, things like that. But essentially they collate all this data together and then put out a report that we then post on the website with the results. And we can use it when we contact politicians or different things like that to say the majority of people who vape fall into this income category, or, there are more people in your state, Senator, or, different things like that. So it's incredibly helpful. It's very good information. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes to go through the survey. It's a little, a quick little commitment there, but it's incredibly helpful. The data is really good to use, and please participate.
What does do you know what this data gets used for? I mean, this gets used in I'm assuming a legislative sense.
Well, so CASA gets access to it because we partner with them, but EcigIntelligence is actually a much larger entity. They do a lot of industry analysis as well. So usually I believe the data has to be purchased by researchers or economists or whoever all it is, interested parties. But we get access to it for free because we partner with them to get it done, and we give our members access to it.
I like it. I like it a lot. I will have a link down in the description. How long is this going on for? I want to promote this. It's going on for probably a little bit, right? At least a month?
Yeah, I believe they collect for a couple months, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But yeah, please get in there and
how is our personal identifiable information protected? I'm not 100% sure. It's a Survey Monkey survey, so I'm assuming it's whatever Survey Monkey rules terms of service are. I'm assuming it's their data collection rules, whatever. Right?
And whatever data is published has no personally identifiable information in it. Everybody's stuff is collated together, and then it just shows, X percentage of the participants live in the Southwest. There's your name is not used anywhere. I can't even recall if they actually collect your name. Did you see it when you clicked on it?
No, it hasn't collected my name yet.
Yeah, I think it may be anonymous. If not, I think there's an option to potentially give your email if you want to, but I believe it's pretty much anonymous.
Yeah, and there is, look, you can prefer not to say. Like you can be a little bit more anonymous about it, not have information, but it's not going to be as beneficial to the survey,
right?
If you hit prefer not to say for everything, So, look, if you're on Facebook, I wouldn't worry about this survey. If you're on Facebook and you're worried about your data,
way more about you.
I wouldn't be worried about this survey if you're on Facebook. Not in any capacity. But yeah, that's critical, super important. I'll have that link down below. I'm going to finish my EcigIntelligence survey post-stream. But yeah, we'll get that out there. Just mountains of people to do it, like loads of people to do it. I think that would be incredible.
Wonderful. We actually, unfortunately, had a lower than usual participation last year. So we're hoping to kick that back up. We didn't have as many people participate in 2020s. So we're kind of hoping to reinvigorate. There was a lot going on last year. I understand we had some tumultuous times.
Tumultuous.
To get more people participating this year. So please do that. Nick's going to put the link in the description. If you follow CASA on Twitter or Facebook, we're going to be posting about it. We also sent an email blast out this morning to CASA members. So if you're a member, you should get it in your inbox. We posted about it on Instagram, on CASA's Instagram and stories. So there are plenty of places that you can find that link.
Yep. Including here. I think I already put it in the chat. Put it back in the chat. We'll put it in the... I'll keep it in the description for sure. I'll make sure it's highlighted in the description, along with the CASA tax call to action. In addition to everything, the EcigIntelligence survey and tweeting at our politicians, the call to action over there in Danielle's corner, that's still an active call to action. Still an active call to action. And
you guys got a lot of homework.
So much homework. And you have to watch Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings.
That's fun, though.
There's so much to do. There's so much to do. We started watching this show, Invasion, on Apple TV Plus.
I'm all over that.
Invasion's great. It gets, I don't know how far you've watched, but it's
all the way.
It's party bomb. That last episode was
great. Slow burn.
It's a good. Slow, I know.
What's happening?
It's such a slow burn.
Showing us any aliens.
I love it. I love it so much. Invasion is definitely a good show.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start winding this down and wildly speculate about what could possibly happen at the future of the Food and Drug Administration, because we might have a new FDA commissioner.
Right.
Or at least new-ish.
If he gets confirmed.
FDA commissioner.
He's done it before, but he'll be back.
He's done it before.
He'll be back. Right.
He's done it before. So Robert Califf, this gentleman right here, this is Robert Califf. This is a potential future head of the FDA. He's been nominated by Joe Biden, and he has yet to be confirmed. He needs a Senate confirmation hearing to become the head of the FDA.
Correct.
Priorly, he had met some resistance because of his ties to the pharmaceutical company. And I think those are, I know, it's one of those things like, I don't know why, like, this became a normal thing in America where the head of the government organization that is responsible for our health,
and regulating the
pharmaceutical companies has a revolving door with the head of the FDA and the head of pharmaceutical companies.
Right. And it's not even the head. It's all the way down the chain.
All the way down the chain.
You work at FDA, you work at pharma. You work at pharma, you work at FDA.
Hey, it's all kind of goes together like that. And Americans were just like,
messed up.
This is normal.
No.
It's always been this way, though. It's always been this way.
Doesn't make it right.
Does not make it right. So Califf ran into some opposition there, hoping he runs into some opposition some more. He doesn't have a really great track record with vaping. Now, Robert Califf, wrong hand, Califf, believe it or not, this is the best picture I could find of this guy. He's so weird looking. He's like a goblin. It's the best picture. I'm sorry. He does have a mustache, and so we're comrades.
You are mustache
in that way,
buddies.
for sure. We are mustache buddies. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean to Robert Califf. He was head of the FDA the last year that Obama was president.
Right.
I don't remember who was before him.
I didn't start keeping track really until Scotty G, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Okay, yeah, Scotty G. This was precursor to Scotty G.
Yes.
So he was head of the FDA Obama's last year. Califf he oversaw the rolling out of the 2016 deeming regulations. That's the last official governmental act he did as head of the FDA, was to roll out the 2016 deeming rule. And then he was just gone. And then we got Scott Gottlieb. We got Scotty G for a few years. And so Robert Califf hasn't really said much about vaping over the last few years. I mean, honestly, close to nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know where this guy stands with it.
He did put out that one thing. Weren't we reading it together?
He put out that one thing. Wasn't that really? I wish I could track that down. Where was that? I wonder if I could do some Googling.
Wait, it should be on our... I think it's in our text messages.
Is it really?
Hold, please.
Ooh, wait, how far back are we going to have to go? Months?
And entertain the viewers while I search.
I will. I'm going to Google or DuckDuckGo Robert Califf, because he did have he wrote a thing where he was talking about vaping. I do remember that recently. It's impossible to find now that he's been nominated, because it's all, modern, like updated news. It's hard to find old news. He did write something about vaping.
He did, and I swear I texted it to you, and it's in here somewhere.
I believe you. I believe it is in there.
Ah, found it.
Hey! Woo!
Okay, are you in the doc? I'm just going to pop it in the doc.
Pop it in the doc. Share it in the doc. Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. Ah, yes.
This is 2019.
Okay, so in 2016, he rolled out the deeming regulations, and in 2019, he chimed in on EVALI.
Yeah.
Ugh.
With a not great hot take, if you're asking
Not
me.
a really great hot take at all. How to stop the epidemic of vaping-associated lung illnesses. Former FDA Commissioner Robert Califf, MD, calls for an immediate ban on flavors in vaping products, a vigorous campaign to correct misinformation about vaping, and a concerted effort to prosecute those who sell vaping products to minors. What is this correct misinformation about vaping? What is that?
Who knows?
I mean, I haven't read this whole thing, but how does he justify this? This is long.
It's a lot of the same talking points we're familiar
at
with.
the time, our best evidence indicated that long-term controlled trials in vaping could be used much like nicotine gum or medication to enable a person to discontinue tobacco products, especially when it was combined with behavioral support. However, in the real world, there was competing evidence that tobacco users would become dual users.
Oh my
dual
God.
users? Califf is using the word dual users. That's not good.
Clutch your pearls.
Clutch your pearls. And Califf has already received an approval from Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. They've endorsed Robert Califf.
Oh, yeah, of course they have.
They've endorsed Robert Califf. Oh, God, why did he say dual users? He says, at the time, there were no direct evidence of harms from vaping, and the limited biological studies of nicotine gave us a mixed picture. Look, he seems to be a man of science. He seems to be a little bit reasonable.
Well,
I mean,
get down to what should be done now.
Yeah, I don't want to read that part. That part looks like the bad part.
Number 1, flavors in vaping products should be banned immediately.
Yeah, and the campaign about the dangers of unregulated vaping should be dramatically increased.
Yup.
The latter step is particularly urgent, given the scale and sophistication of online messaging aimed at advertising and spreading misinformation about vaping. I think he's talking about us. I think he thinks that we're misinforming people.
Probably.
We have an epidemic of serious lung injuries and death that must be quelled, especially in teenagers and children. We have an epidemic of lung injury and death? Is he talking about the 60 people that died during EVALI? That was the epidemic of lung disease and death that especially... like, what?
I mean, people shouldn't have died, and it is always sad whenever anyone dies.
Yes,
but
of course.
That's not a rampant epidemic.
That's not the correct use of the word epidemic.
That was a contaminated product problem.
Right. Much in the same way that, when lettuce has E. coli.
Yeah,
same
or
thing.
salmonella
Same
or something.
Thing. The timeline for enforcement discretion must be brought back to as soon as possible. Those who want to promote and sell products that have the potential to cause this degree of harm with no health benefits should be required to perform rigorous pre-market clinical studies. The
benefits.
No health benefits. Robert Califf, future FDA head of FDA, no health benefits. Even though the organization he's entering into has said that these are appropriate for the protection of public health. I don't know how he's going to grapple with that. The exact constituents of vaping products should be revealed. They have been. No one's hiding them. They're people are hiding them. We've had to, even pre-FDA authorizations, Namber Juice, my old liquid company Namber Juice, used to have to send annually all of our liquids to be tested at a third-party lab, and all of those results are on file with the FDA. FDA knows what's in our liquids down to a molecular level.
Yeah.
That was required of us.
Some BS. It's not a secret. They like to pretend it's a secret. It's not a secret.
It's not a secret. There's no confusion around what's inside of an e-liquid. There hasn't been for a very long time. I mean, maybe if there was diacetyl, but I don't even think Robert Califf would be hip to what diacetyl is or was or Probably did or whatever was even involved in vaping products. Okay, so that's where we're at with Robert Califf. Great. But he does say, look at this, outright prohibition of vaping products seems impractical on several grounds. First, the belief in personal freedom is a dominant feature of the American culture. Oh, yeah, that pesky feature of American culture. That damn thing we like to call freedom. We allow people to eat unhealthy food, ski in dangerous places, and use guns despite the obvious risks. Right. Definitely.
We allow them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't that sound a little authoritarian?
It sounds a little creepy, but continue.
We allow you to ski. The government, Robert Califf, FDA, allows you to ski in dangerous places. Additionally, addictive substances with psychoactive properties, when prescribed by law, become economic and social substrates for illegal markets, simulating dangerous business deals with associated violent and nonviolent crime, and filling our prisons with people who would otherwise be contributing to society. Okay, so it sounds like he's not a prohibitionist.
Right.
He seems to be able to see reason that there would be a black market and mass incarcerations and,
all that's
he
stupid.
Can kind of see that. And I like that he talks about that pesky American feature of freedom. First of all, Americans like this thing called freedom. Interesting that he threw that in there. But he's right. We allow people to eat unhealthy food. I can eat McDonald's every day of the week, and no one's going to stop me.
Alan, it's all in chat. He is a generous God. Nailed it, Alan.
He is a generous God. We allow you to ski, Alan. Ski where you may. I am granting you the freedom to ski where you want to ski. Ski. We allow them to ski in dangerous places.
Such a weird analogy.
A weird, I know.
Why skiing?
Why skiing?
You could say drive race cars.
Yeah,
or
any number. We allow people to jump out of airplanes. Skiing. Well, look, skiing is pretty dangerous. I mean, I don't know if you remember Sonny Bono. He died skiing. You remember Sonny and Cher?
I do recall Sonny and Cher.
Sonny Bono. He died skiing. In fact, I met Sonny Bono a number of times because he used to vacation in Lake Tahoe. He was a big skier. So he died skiing at Heavenly Valley. If we went to Heavenly Valley, I could take you and show you the tree that he hit.
He hit a tree?
He hit a tree and died.
How did that? Aren't you supposed to
it's sad.
Aim away from the... I don't know how skiing works.
It's one of those things where...
Nobody knows why that happened?
It's one of those things. Like Heavenly Valley allows, the kind God that they are, they allow what they call off-piste skiing, which is tree skiing. And so it's in bounds of the resort, but it's not maintained. There could be rocks, there could be trees.
It's like off-road skiing.
It's like at your own risk, you can go tree skiing.
I'm picturing this like big open area
with like a
and
tree.
Like one tree, and I'm like, how did you hit it, Sonny?
And the tree, and because it's in, it's in Lake Tahoe, California, so the perimeter of all of the ski runs are tall pine trees, real tall pine trees. So there's these intimidating pine trees along the edges of runs and things like this, and you can just as easily, like, if you were traveling at a high speed down the side of a run and you caught an edge and it like yanked you off, you could smack right into a tree and just explode on impact,
Wow, that's terrible.
It's really horrifying. And he was retired and he was just Sonny Bono, and he would go up to Heavenly Valley and go skiing all the time. And then he died. And it was big news in Heavenly. It was like local,
Yeah.
Like everybody knew Sonny in Tahoe.
R.I.P. Sonny. Sorry.
So yeah, skiing is dangerous. And thank you, finally, Robert Califf saying something about this dangerous personal freedom of skiing in dangerous places.
Wait, but keep reading. I feel like it gets... I'm not sure what his...
Skiing in dangerous places, guns despite, illegal markets, simulating dangerous business deals, and associated with nonviolent crime, and filling our prisons with people who would otherwise be contributing to society. A regime of legal prohibition also dissuades people from seeking help with addiction for fear of stigma that might negatively affect future employment and social mobility.
I mean,
that's a really smart thing, Dr. Robert Califf. I'll forgive the skiing thing for that. That is a really smart thing to say. He said, while I would personally prefer the trifecta described above, given these factors, I believe that we should move to enact strict regulations to limit the harm done by vaping products, augmented by an aggressive public education program that is particularly aimed at vulnerable young people but not excluding adults.
So he says we should ban flavors, but then he says banning stuff is bad. And
would never work because it creates black markets. And
I'm a little confused on that.
Yeah.
Long story short, unless he's changed his opinion since 2019, he's going to be more of the same.
He's probably going to be more of the same.
Yeah. He is not a savior. Let's put it that way.
He's definitely not a savior, but, and this is a big one, I'm just really optimistic, and I think he's a man of science. He's a cardiologist. He says some not completely out of control things in this, like some out of control things, right? Saying that vaping, has no health benefits to, like, he's obviously way wrong on that. So I'm hoping, as a man of science, when new information comes into his sphere, he will adjust his, his worldview accordingly.
We can hope.
I'm hoping. I saw a couple super chats come in, so I appreciate that, you guys. Let me see these. Smokers. Oh wow, Smoker Rights sending us some coin. We're going to smokersrights.org. I believe in smokers' rights. I definitely believe in smokers' rights. I don't know exactly what smokersrights.org is, but we're gonna go look. Smokers' Rights Movement. I believe this is... Yes. Max. It's good to connect with you this way through a super chat. Max and the Smokers' Rights Movement were part of the COP9 protestings. I believe. Do you remember we were talking about that? Was I talking to you about that? There was a protest at COP9 and they were going to stream it.
Yes. Yeah.
This was part of it.
I recall hearing about it.
Yes. This was part of it. Smokers' Rights. Interesting. Sure. I'll put a link down in the description. Let's support smokers' rights. Of course. Why not? I support unhealthy food people eaters' rights, and I have support dangerous skiers' rights. And I support gun owners' rights. So, of course, I'll support smokers' rights. Of course, I will. Thank you for those super chats. That's very kind of you. There was one from Adam. That's right. He says it costs one. Is that a euro or the British pound? I don't know that symbol. Is that €1? I think it says it costs €1 for a Nick shot and an average of €12 for a 100 ml short fill in England. We know how to do it, yeah.
Oh, it wouldn't be a euro if it's England then, right?
British pound? Is that a British pound?
Isn't there? They have other things too, aren't there? Sterlings. I don't understand people's currencies.
No, that's another. That's a Great British Pound. Yeah.
I don't know.
They have,
Britain money.
In British money, pounds. They use pounds, but they have, how we would say, oh, this is a dollar. Oh, this is a buck.
And a cent.
A buck. We have different terminology for money, coin.
Okay.
It's sometimes they'll say quid, pound. It all means money. It's all the British pound. My Andy from Ohm's distro always says sterling because that's what the British pound is based on, is sterling. Like they have the sterling silver standard. We have the gold standard.
Oh, interesting.
All of our money used to be backed up by gold until the Fed got involved, and then we just started printing money, So the Great British Pound is backed by sterling silver, and so they call it a pound of sterling.
I see.
Whatever. Sterling.
All news to me.
It's very interesting. I like learning about other, different cultures and things like that. It's really interesting to me. I was confused really for a long time because I've heard British people say quid, and then I heard people say pound, and I was like, what does that mean? What's quid?
I don't know the difference.
It took going to the UK and me asking that awkward question to a British person, and they just looked at me like I was crazy, and they're like, just means like a buck or like like the way you would say a buck.
It's like a slang dollar.
Yeah, it's like we wouldn't say $10, we'd say $10. So they wouldn't say 10 pounds, they say 10 quid.
Okay.
It's just a different word for the same thing, but that confused me for a really long time.
I mean, Americans are probably, they're like, bucks. Are there deer? Are you giving people deer? What is it?
Yeah, exactly. Bucks? No, not that way.
No, not the ones with the horns.
Appreciate those super chats, you guys. And I appreciate you guys being here. Let's wrap this up. We went a little past 5 in the PM here in the California West Coast. And that's it. We're done here. I'm going to take Robert Califf down. I'm going to put some links all over to the description down there to like literally everything we talked about. Keep tweeting. Keep this tweet party going. I'm going to keep tweeting. I'm going to find some other Congresspeople not in my state, just Congresspeople across America, and make sure that they're at least getting this tweeted at them. Once, a few times, multiple times. We sat here and we read that whole thing. Imagine the impact that 50 congressmen reading that might have.
Yep.
That alone could completely change the trajectory of the train that has left the station that we're all desperately holding on to the side of. That's how I picture it. That's what it feels like.
And remember to specifically target Joe Manchin, Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada, and Kristen Sinema of Arizona. Joe Manchin is West Virginia. Those are the 3 who have expressed not liking this tax, and we want to definitely support their dislike of the tax.
Support their dislike of the tax. I will track down all those people, and I'll put their Twitter links in the description of this video, as well as a link to the paper that we're tweeting at them. And you can just easily go on Twitter, find that hashtag #NickTax, and just, not necessarily copy paste, but so far everybody's tweets have been awesome. Really good, direct, respectful. Please look at this data. I thank you. I yield my time. Very direct, very polite, and I really, really like it. So just go, jump on Twitter, see what someone else says. If you're bad at Twitter, look, get help. Yeah. Just ask.
You can always just retweet too.
Yeah, just get on there and retweet some stuff. Or you can, one thing that you can do, here, let's find someone real quick. Where can I find let's look up a legislator in I don't know, Chicago or something. Like, what's another zip code I could look at? Nevada?
Do you know a Nevada address?
Oh, yeah. Look, I used to live in Nevada. I lived in Nevada for years. Years and years. Why can't I find this now? Let's try that one. Let's try that zip code. Oh, it requires a street?
Yep.
Okay, let's try this. I do remember my old address.
Oh, put that in.
Oh, it won't work.
Did you remember it wrong?
No, 89449 128 Cypress. Oh, it won't work. 128 Cypress, State Line, Nevada, 89449. Oh, well. I'm still going to find some other politicians, and we're going to keep tweeting this at them. This tax cannot go through. This tax cannot go through. So please do the call to action. Please tweet. Please. You know, God knows I don't ask you for much. Just do this. And the EcigIntelligence survey, which don't worry about forgetting about that or any. I'm going to be constantly reminding you constantly about these through social media and Twitter and Facebook and YouTubes and everything. So look, if we want to change the world, we got to do some shit. Yep. You know,
it's not going to do it itself.
If we want to change the world, we got to do some shit. We got to tweet, we have to call, we have to fill out, we have to do testimonials, we have to do surveys, we have to get our voices out there. We have to amplify the voices that are defending us. We have to encourage the people who are currently defending us to continue defending us. Mm-hmm. We have to amplify voices like Cliff Douglas and Mark Gunter and Kenneth Warner and, you know, Michael Pesko, subject matter experts, actual PhD scientists that are standing behind vaping. We need to amplify their voices. Mm-hmm. Amplify their voices. I'm growing a mustache for Movember, but I'm also dedicating this mustache to the only other person recently who had a boss-ass mustache, Mark Gunter. Mm. Yeah. I'm going for that Mark Gunter solid style mustache. Mm-hmm. As it started growing in, I started already becoming a little bit more critical of Bloomberg, you know? I was like, oh, I can feel it, Mark Gunter. Thank you. I can feel that. I already am more critical of Bloomberg now than I was before the mustache. Thank you, Mark Gunter. Thank you. Anyway, you guys, I think we're going to peace out. But thank you so much for coming to hang out. Really very much appreciate you. You know, the advocate life isn't cut out for everybody. And I appreciate you guys being here today because I feel like you're cut out for the advocacy life, you know? It's a little bit of a thankless job. Actually, no, it's not a thankless job. It's a rewarding, thank-filled job. I'm thanked constantly.
It can be frustrating.
It's frustrating.
But
it's frustrating. It's the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced, truly and honestly. Truly and honestly, to see. Okay, no, I can't get on another soapbox. We've seen all of the science. I mean, I personally haven't seen all of the science, but I rely on people like Cliff Douglas, Charles Gardner, you know, experts, subject matter experts, people like Clive Bates. I trust them. And you see this, and we know the science, and then you see a politician go, those don't help quit smoking, and you just want to pull your own head off. It's the most frustrating. Yeah, you just like right in the forehead. Just what the fuck is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, but it's the most rewarding thing I've literally ever done with my life.
Same.
You know, that's it. And I love it. And this is the hill I'm going to die on. So thank you, Danielle Jones, for being part of this.
Thank you, Nicholas.
I love this team. Oh, yeah, I kind of like that.
Oh my God, did you see what I did
like there? That. Yeah, I feel real professional now. Mm-hmm. I feel like I could hang out with like Kenneth Warner.
Yeah.
If I introduced myself as Nicholas. Oh, Dr. Kenneth Warner, Nicholas Green. Yeah. Mm. Freelance.
Advocacy
guy on YouTube. I kind of graduated high school, so yeah. Kenneth Warner, good to meet you.
I really like your weird yuppie impersonation. It's very bizarre.
Kenneth, that's what happens when you call me Nicholas. It turns on. It's like,
I think I might not call it. I like the normal version.
Give me normal Nick. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much. And for anybody not aware, this is also a podcast. It's on iTunes. It's on SoundCloud. You can just listen in your car. If you're a long-haul trucker, just get in that truck and listen to me and Danielle yammer on about advocacy for hours on end. Mm-hmm. It's real good times. I'll have that linked down below. There was one last super chat from New Wave Dave. Oh, good Lord, the cat's back. New Wave Dave says, my cat slipped me something, and I was out for a couple hours. I feel violated.
Oh, dear.
What did your cat slip you?
Like a roofie or something?
Dave, have you ever considered getting rid of your cat? I'm just kidding. Please never get rid of your cat, because now your cat has like a legacy. Now your cat has like a mythology around it. You know, it's got a legacy to maintain. New Wave Dave. Hey, I appreciate you being here, New Wave Dave. I appreciate you guys. We're going to actually say goodbye and end this. I still don't have any sort of intro. So what we do is we awkwardly sit here at the end and we just wave. And we say, don't smoke cigarettes, vape your nicotine, snooze your nicotine.